All right, there are so many ways you can reach out to us. You can DM, you can email, or you can call the listener line, 713-278-VENT. And by the way, we do know what this is about. This is about stepmothers. So if you're a stepmother and you've got some advice, our phone number is 833-390-KRBE.
Well, let's hear the call.
I've been dating my man for about 18 months now. Thing is that he's got an 11-year-old daughter. She's at that age where she needs guidance. You know, I respect boundaries, but I intend on marrying this man sometime soon. Her mother's really not present in her life, and she's at an age where she needs guidance. She's going to get her cycle soon, and I was telling my boyfriend, you know, maybe we should have products at the house. And he gets really defensive. She's even really gotten really close to me, and we've started to build a relationship. I just don't understand why he won't accept me as a stepmother. I would really appreciate any help.
Wait a second.
What's
You said
wrong
she
with
is
him?
a stepmother. She is not a stepmother yet. She is a girlfriend of a man who has a kid for 11 months. They are not engaged.
No.
But she's hoping they get married. Is that what I heard?
That's what it sounds
The
She
like.
daughter's
said
11. How long have they been dating?
Play it
She said
again.
they've been
Let me
dating
hear it.
11 months.
I got to focus here.
And we're
Focus.
Remember, there's no air conditioning in here. So
Yeah, we're a
we have
little
chillers.
testy right
Let me
now.
hear
It's
this.
hot in here.
Yeah, they're not
I've
married.
been dating my man for about 18 months
Dating.
now.
18 months.
Okay, so that's a year and a half.
Yeah,
they're
Look at you.
dating my man for 18 months.
Dating doesn't make you a stepmom.
Right.
Well, I know. I wish it had more detail, like if they live together or not. But it sounds to me like he's got
right.
more custody than the ex-wife does.
It just sounds like, I don't know.
And she's willing to
I
do
don't-
all
What's
that
the question
work.
now? The question is, you're dating a man who has a kid,
Uh-huh.
whose the mother is not as involved, it seems, in this woman's perception.
Okay.
And she feels like the daughter, who's 11, is getting close to her and needs to have preparation for life changes.
Right.
But the boyfriend is not accepting her, and he's not wanting
Because
to
they're-
listen to her
because-
advice or help.
You have no skin in it. You're just a girlfriend.
Well, she said she plans on marrying him.
Well, I
they're
mean,
not
I plan on
engaged.
being rich someday. you
Yeah,
know,
me too. I plan on winning the lottery and saying,
Until
"Suck
it happens.
losers.
Yeah.
So
Powerball winnings over here.
I think
if
by-
you're a stepmother and you can advise her, like, how should she proceed? Like,
Because the stepmoms had to be dating at one time. That's the worst because you want to help them out, but it's not your place.
yeah,
Yes.
until you have that right.
Well, let's see what Megan has to say about it at 833-390-KRBE. Hi, welcome to the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
Hi, how are y'all?
Good.
Good morning.
Confused.
Yeah, totally. Are you dating a man who has a kid, or are you an actual stepmom? What's your situation, Megan? Or are you the child of a man who remarried?
So I'm married to a man that has two kids. One is biologically his and one is not, but we still consider he is one of our own. He's raised them since he was 2, and he is 12, and the other one is 8.
Okay.
So my advice to her is, you know, I don't have a girl, but they're boys, but still the same spectrum. You know, kids, they don't ask to be here. So if you see that she needs help and she needs love, you know, definitely shower the kids with love and care and patience. And if your boyfriend is getting uncomfortable because she's going to get her menstrual cycle, you know, that's something that her and him need to talk about because that's important. You know, girls go through changes. It's weird. It's a weird time for a girl. And if no one's in her corner, you know, I couldn't even imagine.
Right.
It sounds to me like she's trying to look out for her.
Well, the answer is you just keep on doing whatever you think is right. Who cares what the boyfriend says?
1,000%.
Yeah.
I mean, 1,000%. I mean, the kids don't ask to be here, and all kids deserve love and parents,
True.
and not all parents deserve kids. So
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Why
If
do
you
you
help,
think?
just give it to
I
him.
love that
Hey,
you said that.
You need
Why
to
do
write
you-
that down and give it to the Hobby Lobby people.
That's
Yeah,
right. No,
put that on
Sell that.
a plank or
Sell
something
that.
and paint
All
it.
kids need love.
Why do you think that the boyfriend's resisting, though?
I mean, it's just a father and your daughter's growing up. I don't know. Maybe he's just having like a weird time with it. Maybe some men don't like talking about that kind of stuff, and it's a weird area. They don't understand, and it's
Or
weird for
maybe,
them.
Megan, he knows that he's going to break up with her and says, what do you care? You're not going to be around for that. I'm breaking up with you.
Oh,
next
wow. That's a.
Well, I mean, like
Dark
even people
thought.
saying 18 months and you're not living together yet.
awful.
I don't want you
yeah.
telling me how to raise my kid.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, but it's
very
not raising. But
protective.
this
not-
topic, I would hate to be
Specifically.
the daughter
Yeah.
and not know about it, and then
Yeah.
it happens at school, and you get made fun of, and all the kids
Right.
remember that. Like
Right.
I still remember, like
Would that embarrass you if your dad talk to you about that stuff, Sam?
No, I
Well,
would
if you don't
like
have
to
a mom-
know.
if you
Yeah,
don't
if you
have a
don't have a
mom-
mom that's
That's what I'm
stepping
saying.
up. I mean, school, like my school, I think they maybe talked a little bit about it.
Yeah, they
just
always
like
do
as
that
a
one where they
heads up.
separate the
Yeah.
girls go to that
Yeah.
little.
The
But
nurse tells you
no,
the
I
stuff.
think the stepmom should absolutely be there for the daughter for that.
And
or
you
the,
don't have to be
girlfriend.
married to
The
be
girl- the
to be-
child.
yeah, you don't have to be married to give that child that information.
No,
if the child
like
has
if I would do
taken
it
to
to
her,
a niece, if I had a niece that had issues, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
but I get what she's saying about
Yeah.
like the permission of the mate. Like, hey, listen, I need to
If
talk
the-
to your daughter about this.
To me, it sounds like
sex wife isn't
she really loves this guy because I mean, what does she have to benefit from doing all this extra work? She's doing it because she loves him.
Emily is up next. Thank you, Megan. Good morning, Emily.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I
Morning.
am a stepmom of 3. I have a 12-year-old, 10-year-old, 5-year-old, and I do have a baby with the father as well, who's 3. My opinion is that, or how I came to be a stepmother, is it's a conversation that the father and I had. It's his ultimate decision to decide whether or not you become the stepmother, right? And because that's his child. As far as inserting yourself, of what should I do, right? That's a conversation that you have to continue to have with the father. But I have found that grandparents or grandmothers, or mothers of the fathers have been advocates to, help along that situation or help along like those conversations, because fathers with daughters, it's hard for them to accept that their little girls are growing up,
Yeah.
right? And ultimately you have to respect certain boundaries, but that doesn't mean that open communication is key always. When it comes to children that aren't necessarily biologically yours.
Yeah.
But you have to keep doing the best that you can, like while they're under your roof, to care for them, love for them, and and for the father to see that you're in this to love them just as much as he loves them. I have a beautiful blended family, but it did take a long time for the father to trust me with his kids, right? Because you don't want to keep introducing people,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Right.
18
So
months is
that's just my opinion,
good
and
amount
that's
of
what
time.
seemed to have worked for my blended family.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that things worked out for you. It has to happen organically. You can't force yourself into the child's life, but it did sound to me like they're bonding right now. The only barrier is the dad.
This person says, I have 2 stepdaughters, and I've been with my husband for 11 years. I've always treated them like my own, and their mom sucks, and they trust me more than the actual mom. So if this girl is trusting this lady because her real mom is not there for her, then the boyfriend should just be okay with his girlfriend having this conversation with the 11-year-old daughter. Because there's nothing worse, like Sam said, than not knowing it's happening. So
Yes.
that's what's going to work.
Yeah.
If you have more
I
comments
hope
on
that
this,
helped.
go to the listener line at 713-278-VENT. That's 8368 on your phone. Coming up next, we're going to do an Ask the Attorney segment with Adam Ramji.
The
He comes
Ram.
and visits us every now and again to give you free legal advice. And maybe there's something that happened in your life. You were injured somewhere. You slipped and fell somewhere. Somebody got injured, and you're wondering, is this something where we can move forward legally and take legal action? Or is this one of these where sorry, sucks to be you.
So you can call in 833-390-KRBE if you've got a legal question.
I saw a video of yesterday of a semi going and plowed through 5 vehicles,
Oh, my God.
killed 3 people.
Oh, my God. Here?
God.
I don't know where it was. It was on TikTok or something. These people lost their life because this thing was just going right through, plowed.
Barreled through.
But they lost their life because this guy wasn't paying attention. He was looking at a text or something.
Oh.
So it's like things like that. And, you don't want insurance companies. You can't. They're just going to lowball you. That's why you need people like
Right.
Adam Ramji and stuff.
So if you have any injury questions, y'all can call us at 833-390-KRBE. We'll talk to Adam Ramji next in studio on The Rule and Ryan Show with Eric. All right, we are going to welcome Adam Ramji here into the studio for Ask the Attorney. It is free legal advice for you at 833-390-KRBE. Hi, Adam Ramji.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Our-
Nice to be here with you guys early on this.
I should have told you to wear some
Thursday.
shorts.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we apologize for the
I didn't know if we were talking about that on air or not.
No, I think it's
No,
a
it's
little
hot in here.
cooler depending on the
Yeah.
side of the room
If
you're
I have a
in.
heat stroke, is that a workman's comp?
Can we sue?
It's
Yeah,
70
right.
degrees in here, Houston,
It's
and they're
like
losing
hell
their
it is.
mind.
because you-
No, it is
It's
not.
because you have a chiller behind you and you're half naked.
I literally found a thermometer, Houston. I looked and saw just moments ago 71
Yeah,
degrees
but you
in
put it
here.
in your
I'm
mouth.
dying.
Yeah, I
I've got
feel like-
condensation on my
it
screen.
has to be like wherever Kevin and I are sitting, it's got to be hitting us with the, because I'm feeling very comfortable
Yeah,
now
there's a
versus when we
portable-
first started the show.
Portable
But
air
anyway,
chiller.
yes, there's an AC issue here live. But
I thought it was
you
done on
can't feel
purpose
that.
because you weren't feeling well. You got keep it
I
warm
know, I
and
was like,
cozy in here.
no, Mucinex D.
Ryan has hot flashes nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's like, we gotta keep it real cold.
Menopause.
All right, let's go to the phones at 833-390-KRBE. If you have a question about personal injury, maybe you don't know if this is something you can proceed legally, take legal action. That's why Adam Ramji is here to answer your question. Sally is on the line, and it's a dental question, Adam. It doesn't have anything to do with 18-wheelers, but it's a dental question.
All right, sounds
All
good.
right.
Sounds like let's talk. Let's
Hi,
talk.
Yeah,
Sally.
different.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, there you go.
Good morning. What's your question for Adam?
Well, I had a tooth that broke like in 2021, and the person that is helping me, it got infected because when he initially put the implant, it came out my gum and it got infected, and they twice sent me home with a raging infection to where I lost like bone,
Oh my God.
and now I'm kind of stuck in limbo. And I don't know what to do. I'm still under their care. I don't know if I've waited too long because the 2 years have, expired since I started treatment, but I'm still being treated by them, and I can't get to the next phase. And
I
it's
understand.
really caused a lot of turmoil and stress and everything. Yeah.
Adam, there's no
I've lost
statute of
peak
limitations
time
if
from work.
she's still going through
Yeah,
it,
so
right?
there's what you're kind of bringing up here is what falls under medical malpractice, right? And I'm not suggesting there has been any malpractice. So if you're the dentist listening, you don't have to freak out right now.
Yeah, you don't know the case.
You don't know the
look at
case.
stuff.
So generally speaking, there is a 2-year statute of limitations on negligence in Texas. That means if you were injured or hurt or someone did something wrong, then you have 2 years to be able to settle the case, or you better file a lawsuit within those 2 years to be able to go to litigation. So the question really comes up in medical malpractice cases: when does that 2 years start? And it typically starts when you knew or should have known about the injury. For example, we had a case one time where a lady had some surgery. She wasn't having a baby.
The lady doctor.
Yeah, lady doctor and
OB-GYN.
OB-GYN. Yeah, and he left a sponge in her, but she didn't find out until like 6 months later. By the time she actually figured out, the 2 years had actually passed from the time of the surgery. But that was okay because the time she found out about it,
That's where the
excuse me,
clock starts
was
to tick.
within that. So it's, the clock didn't start ticking. So we were okay on that, and that settled really well.
All right.
So as far as your case, I don't think you're past your SOL. I don't know that you have a case because if you're still under the care and if you let them know what's happening, there might be something unique to your case. Then
Right.
they can still fix it. So I
Okay.
think I would encourage you to go back there and say, listen, I really need to get this thing taken care of because it's starting to cause me some
I was
problems.
wondering about. Does that happen a lot where people get things stuck or left in them after
Yeah,
surgery?
they forget.
Gauze and-
not as much anymore. I think doctors and surgeons are way more, and nurses, of course, are way more vigilant now. If you go for surgery, they mark the.
They
that
mark my
body
legs.
part
They
So
said
many
like my
times.
toe, right toe, or left.
Right. they
and
put
there's
that
an
with a
inventory of
Sharpie.
all the things that are used and all the things that have to be removed out. So you don't see that very often anymore.
All right, I have a question for Adam Ramji
Yes.
based on text because Adam Ramji, as you know, is a personal injury attorney, and many times it's about a car accident. And we always hear about 18-wheelers, Adam Ramji, 18-wheelers. Okay.
Yes.
Let's say you're one of the many Houstonians that's been involved in a chain reaction accident on one of the, you name it, freeways or anywhere.
Maybe you're like
it was
6
3
cars
cars,
down.
it was 4 cars,
Yeah.
it was 5 cars.
Yeah.
When you are in that, how does the insurance situation work on that? Does everybody in the chain reaction accident go after the last car's insurance, each individual car's insurance? What happens there?
Yeah, so a long story short in that, if there's one person who plowed into everybody, that's who everyone goes after. And if that person has a minimum policy in Texas, and the minimum policy is what's called a 30/60, so we have 30,000 available for one person. In this case, in your scenario, there's 5 people, so then you go to the second number, which is the 60,000. That means all 5 of those people have to share that 60. Not everybody has access to 60 each. And so there's a kind of a loose rule called a Soriano rule, which says that whoever files first gets it first. So if you are in a chain reaction, if there's multiple cars in it, then you should get lawyered up really quickly, get your treatment quickly, get your bill submitted quickly, and that way then you can get probably
Adam,
the first one. Yes.
What if the situation is 18-wheeler smashes into a car, creates a huge pileup, and then you can't brake in time and you plow into the last
sure,
car
there's a
in the
subsequent
accident.
right?
Yeah. So what happens then?
Yeah. So I'll tell you. But going back to this one real quickly, and that one, everyone's going to go after that first car who caused the accident, commercial, non-commercial, and then. But sometimes there's also a little more investigation. Did your client feel crashed and then hit again, like seconds later? So maybe two people hit you. So we asked those, did you feel one crash or two crashes? And then maybe there's two insurances. And then the last thing on that is that if you're like, say, car 1, 2, or 3, and you got hit and a bunch of people are trying to go after that $60,000 and there's not a lot of money left, hopefully you have underinsured motorist coverage for your own insurance, so you can still get some type of recovery. You always need to carry underinsured. It's called, loosely we call it UMUIN, which is underinsured and uninsured motorist coverage. So if somebody hits you that's not insured, or somebody hits you that doesn't have enough insurance, then your auto insurance can kick in. Going back to your question, Ryan, that if there's an accident and then a few minutes later a subsequent accident, if you couldn't see it and that subsequent accident now caused a chain reaction, we call it approximate cause, legal term, saying that, okay, but for this not happening, this wouldn't have happened. It's also called the but-for test. So we say, okay, now then everybody goes after that first person to cause the accident.
So you wouldn't go after the car that was in front?
You possibly could. So let's say an 18-wheeler crashes into somebody and causes a horrible accident. You come over the hill and boom, you smash an 18-wheeler.
No, you smash into the last car in that chain reaction.
Then whoever started it goes after.
Now, what about,
goes after that?
My aunt, like 20 years ago, got hit. A guy nailed her car, and she was in bad shape. He had a heart attack and died while he was driving.
Okay, so in those cases,
but they said act to God or something.
Sure.
She didn't get any money because they said,
"Oh wow,
sorry, it was act to God."
So those cases are very specific. If it's the first time this has ever happened, we've had cases where someone has a seizure, caused an accident, horrible injuries. If that person is the first time they had a seizure, they had no idea, act of God. If it's a second one, they had supposed to have meds.
Knew about it.
Then the insurance will kick in and pay that one. And then also along the same lines, accident happens. Somebody had this before. They smash and run somebody off the road, cause horrible injuries, but then they continue a few minutes later and cause another accident.
Oh, geez.
Oh my
right?
gosh!
In that case, because the two accidents are, even though it happened within really close in time, they're separate accidents. Now there's a 30-60 policy over here and a 30-60 policy over here.
Two different.
They're two separate ones. So you got to know that as lawyers, thing that you don't.
But when you go after them, can you go for more than one pot? Like, in other words, can you go after?
Well, there's only 30,000
and the
if
last
it's
person.
If they're at fault, right? If there's negligence in both of them, and if it's a commercial vehicle, you can go after the company that maybe loaded it, if they overloaded it, if it's the company that hired the individual. And so there's a lot for commercial vehicles. There's a lot more defendants. That's why as lawyers we're like, we want the commercial cases because there are way more people to go after because there are more pots in it.
Yeah.
But back to your case there, it turns out to be, all right, who was at fault? Let's go collect all that insurance. That's called a third party. And then if it's your own insurance, it's first party.
Okay, let's go to Ashley on the line. She has a hit and run question. Good morning, Ashley.
Sorry,
turn the radio down, Ashley, so you're not confused by the delay. That's okay. And for those that are just tuning in, we have Adam Ramji in the studio. He's a personal injury attorney, and he's giving free legal advice. Go ahead. What's your question?
So I was involved in a hit and run last year. Your office handled the case. The lady was found and everything, and I've settled. But my son, who is 8 now, was in the car, and at the time he was fine, and he was fine for a little while, but over the last 6 months he's been complaining of like lower stomach issues and like neck, like upper back issues. And I brought him to his pediatrician, and she's asking like, okay, has he had any like accidents? Has he fell? Have you been in a car accident? So I'm trying to find out like how long after a car accident
Great question.
Can that affect, is that affecting him?
Residual pain.
I'm a little nervous.
Right. So actually, I'm so sorry your son's going through this, and I'm glad that your case is settled with our law firm. As far as your son's concerned, if there was no settlement and we didn't have like a what's called a minor settlement hearing for him, then he potentially still has an open case, which is 2 years after he turns 18. So technically until he turns 20, because he's a minor. So there's some things he's not able to receive. Any medical bills that were the parents' responsibility, he won't be able to receive. But anything for himself in the future, he can potentially get. So I would encourage you, give us a call. Let's look into it. Now, here's the biggest thing, Ashley, is that if there's a doctor, say the pediatrician, that can tie his current injuries to the accident, then you've got a case. Now, if there's just it's kind of loose, or you think it's this, then the insurance company won't want to play ball on that. But if we can have it tied in and it's strong in there, so we need, again, that proximate cause, because, but for this accident happened a few years ago, he wouldn't be having this. And if we have evidence, then you've got a case.
All right, I'm going to change subject here for a second from car accidents to property accidents, because a lot of people will trip and falls and things like that.
Can I just put our number out there real quick, because my staff's waiting. So if you guys have calls you can't get through over here at the station, please, my office is on waiting there. 713-ALL-8, 713-888-8888.
That's right.
Sorry, go ahead.
So Halloween's coming up. Trick-or-treaters are going to be out and about. And people are going to be hosting Halloween parties, and there might be adult beverages abound. Mm-hmm. So how do people handle if you're going to host a party, or somebody gets injured on your property in front of your house or on your sidewalk? I don't know. I mean, there's all these different scenarios, right?
Well, like you say your driveway, because I know the sidewalk is not yours, right? But that driveway is yours.
It is yours, yeah.
Or the walk up to your door.
And I see a lot of people that have like a card table out in the driveway.
Yeah.
And they're serving drinks, and the trick-or-treaters are coming by.
Yeah, I mean, it's a jolly good time for sure. So, but at the end of the day, it's really not complicated, guys. Like, if people are going to come on your property, and if there's a safety hazard, you're probably going to be liable for what happens. So let's just say, I mean, again, this is real cases. Trick-or-treaters go in a house, and there's a big pot, like a hole in the grass that you can't see. Lady falls in there,
roll their ankle.
Rolls and cracks. I mean, really, really bad. Or older lady. That goes under the homeowner's insurance, because you're inviting people to come into your property over there, right? Now, there's a different standard for who's coming in or not. For general purposes, not just trick-or-treating. So if you're a trespasser, there's no duty. If you walk into someone's house as a social guest, which is also called a licensee, then there's a duty to warn of the dangers. Hey, be careful. But if you're walking a store or a place of business, there's a duty to clear of dangers, not warn. So, what floor sign isn't good enough? You got to clean the floor.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, what about golf carts? I have seen golf carts all over when it's Halloween time.
Yeah.
What if you get struck by a golf cart? Is that the same as a car?
No, well, it kind of, if it's
do they carry insurance on golf carts like car insurance?
Right. If it's motorized, then they should be having insurance on it.
I have my motorized bicycle.
Right.
Motorized scooters.
But is it gas powered?
No, it's electric.
Yeah, if it's electric, the laws I think are a little different on that. I don't know exactly what it is.
Tesla owners.
Tesla. No, that's a little different. Yeah.
Some little kid, like let's say that some 12-year-old is driving the golf cart.
Oh, yeah.
So that hits a 4-year-old.
So most likely there's no insurance on the golf cart, but
the family.
You got to look at the golf cart almost like a dog. Like, okay, well, the dog's walking out and bites somebody, or the kid's walking out and driving the golf cart. So the homeowners would kick in on that.
Okay.
Now, unless there's a homeowner's exclusion saying that we're not going to cover golf cart accidents, then wouldn't be payment. But
you're trick-or-treating and you go to a house and they give you dental floss and toothbrushes. Is there anything I can do there? Am I allowed to egg their house?
No, you'll have healthy teeth.
Is there
anything I can do?
You got to toilet paper that house.
Along the lines of what Eric is saying.
Am I covered if I do something bad to them?
You were just talking about the trick-or-treaters. What if you're somebody, I'm not going to be home on Halloween, and I've got all the lights off, and then still somebody comes through my yard, trips in a pothole and falls. Well, I didn't invite them into my yard.
Yeah, so that's kind of where it gets a little dicey there, right? So, there was no invitation, but there's a presumption that kids are going to come looking around there. And so there's a little
decorations and lights are out?
Yeah, there's a little caveat for children. If you're under 18, for minors, even if it's called a attractive nuisance, right? So kids are going to be attracted to all the houses over there. So you have a duty to make it clear. So, for example, let's just say you have all your lights off, no decoration, but your fence is open in the back and your pool is there.
Oh, yeah.
Kid walks inside there, you're liable because you should have kept the pool. Yeah, and they drown.
Yeah,
I thought
should have kept
attractive
it closed.
Nuisance. I thought about Eric at that point.
What's just nuisance?
Looking across,
Don't attract there.
No. Semi-attractive nuisance.
Well, listen, if you guys have questions, you can always call Adam Ramsey's office at 713-ALL-8. It's for any kind of personal injury that you have a question about. A lot of it is about cars. But it is interesting to think about the different scenarios when it comes to haunted houses or trick-or-treating or there's going to be so many people coming around neighborhoods that aren't usually there. So,
be safe out there. And if I want to just give a quick shout out to my son, he's turning 12 today. So happy birthday, Zane.
Hey, Zane, happy birthday.
Everybody get 1 of 4, yeah.
That went fast.
Yeah, I know. He's my number 3, yeah.
I felt like it was like 6.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Boom, really quickly,
wow.
yep.
I know, it
That's fast.
Well, safe trick-or-treating kids and parents and people who have golf carts. You're lucky enough to have one of those.
And careful that night.
Watch out, toothpaste and
I'm coming for you.
I'm coming for you.
There was one quick thing.
Yeah.
I saw this just the other day.
Yeah.
A lot of people jog in my neighborhood, and they jog on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
And people back out of their driveway.
Yes.
And clip somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Like what's happens then?
So if the driver has a duty to make sure there's nobody jogging. If you live in a neighborhood where people jog, then you
they
have
didn't
to
see him. They just came running down.
You need those dash cams, people.
You
I keep saying I need to get one.
Yeah, you got to be extra careful with those. So those might be there might be some contributory negligence on there. So there's not, sometimes it doesn't mean you have a case or it doesn't have a case black and white. It could be all right. There's a percentage of fault. So if the driver was more at fault, then as long as you're more than 50% in Texas, then you can collect the part you're not at fault.
So you need to call 713-all-8s, Ryan, to get more about the person who hate in your neighborhood.
Anybody roll out.
That person's in the backyard.
He's like,
I know what you did last summer.
Dug in the 18th hole over there.
What happened over there?
That's why you have so many spades.
Adam, thanks so much for stopping by, and thanks for the information.
Awesome.
We'll let you talk. If you're on hold, guys, Adam will talk to you off the air. If you are on hold and we didn't get you on the air, don't hang up. Adam will talk to you off the air in the next room. You can also call his office at 713-all-8s.
Yep.
Happy Halloween.
713-all-8s. Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe out there. Thank you,
guys, buddy.
All right, coming up next, this weekend is a very busy weekend. We've got a lot of things going on, and the Mediterranean Festival is happening. October is the month of festivals.
Love festivals.
So have you heard of the Mediterranean Festival and what it's all about? You'll find out next on KRBE. Scoop's usually brought to you by Taqueria Arandas, but today the scoop is going to be all local because it is October. It's a very busy month for charity events, festivals happening everywhere, and another festival that is happening just for 2 days. It's 2 days only, guys. It's Houston MedFest. It's back. And we've got Rana. Yes, MedFest, the Mediterranean Festival. Rana and Father James are here from St. George Orthodox Church on Bissonnette and Mercer. Father James, this is a surprise to me, Father James here. Guys, Father James is the priest that married my brother and his wife, Mary.
Oh, wow.
I've known Father James for years. I'm Greek Orthodox. St. George is an Orthodox church as well. And my history with St. George is when we were children, the Greek church would always do an earlier Christmas Eve service. So because we ran a restaurant, my mom and dad were like, we're going to go to St. George for Christmas Eve. So we were the Christmas Eve family at St. George because we wanted to go to church, and our church service was too early for our restaurant time. So we got to know people over the years at St. George through the Christmas service. And then my brother married Mary, that she was a parishioner there, and he's a parishioner at the Greek church. And we have come together with St. George over the years.
And where's Mary from?
She's from Bethlehem. And they had a Christmas baby.
Yeah, isn't that
Isn't
weird?
that crazy? Father James.
It's so good to be here.
What a
with
nice
us.
surprise to have you
Thank
here.
you. It's a joy.
I haven't seen you in
Thank you for
years.
coming.
Thank you for having us. This is awesome.
Oh my
How long is
gosh.
it since your brother got married?
2016. Their anniversary was yesterday, 9 years ago.
So I met you 9 years ago.
Eric was at the wedding.
That's right.
It was so fun. So tell us about MedFest, guys. I know for a long time St. George had the Mediterranean Festival, and there was a gap for a time, and now it's back.
Yes, it's back. It's big, and it's 2 days this year. We're super excited. Rain or shine, we will be there. We're having prayers for the weather for it to cooperate. But we've got big tents. We've got a lot of food. We've got indoors stuff too. So again, rain or shine, we should have it covered.
And it's HoustonMedFest.com.
Yes.
Is where you can find all the information.
Yes.
It's on Bissonnette at Mercer. In that area, I guess, what is that, Rice area? Does it
Right across
Westwood
from
area?
Cleburne Cafeteria.
Right across from the
I know where
Cleburne.
that's at.
Right
Yeah.
across from the Cleburne. So activities for kids, or there dance shows? What are the activities on
Yes,
the
absolutely.
to do?
We've got it all. We've got a petting zoo. We've got cotton candy. We've got face painting, balloon artists. We've got a pumpkin patch where kids can get
fun.
pumpkins to paint.
Oh, how fun.
We've got entertainment throughout the day. We've got our St. George Dep kids and our young adults. And that's like a traditional Arabic dance. So we'll have them performing and Arabic singers throughout the day. And
Very fun.
It'll be,
And you can try some great food.
Yes. The
Tell us
food's
what
Especially if you've
Yes,
never had it
guys.
before, this is a great way to take your family and your kids and try new things.
Right, get some culture in your life. These flatbreads, you've probably seen them. Like, have you ever gone to Phoenicia? Oh my God, these flatbreads with the cheese and the za'atar. Tell us
we didn't
about
even have
the
time
flatbread.
to see one yet, but Kevin started chowing and eating them all.
That's why Kevin's not talking.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask
What's it called? What's it called?
Sweet and savory.
Yeah.
Sweet and
What's it
savory.
called?
So we call it menushe. And it's just a flatbread, and you have some that have cheese on them, some that have that za'atar spice on them. And so we're going to have both of those. They're delicious.
Yes.
Homemade by everybody at the church. They're so good. We're going to have those kebabs, gyro.
Yes, the gyros.
Gyro
And
sandwiches.
shawarma. I can't say shawarma correctly.
What
Am I
is
saying
the
that right?
difference?
Shawarma.
I've noticed that Mediterranean and Greek food are similar in
Very
taste.
similar.
So what would be like the main difference?
There's no difference. It's just we don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
And
It's like we
I've
don't
got a
know how to
question
say it.
for Father. I mean, you
hysterical.
seem to be in great shape. How do you not pack on the pounds with all this delicious food all
swim
the time?
every day, 50 laps every day. I have to because I swim not to stay in shape so I can work at the church and eat all that the ladies serve.
That's what I was thinking
throughout
about it, because
every day.
if people probably invite you to their house to have dinners and stuff and lunches. That's a lot of eating. So
But the Mediterranean diet is the healthiest diet.
It is.
You're right.
So
It is.
you know
We live the longest, do we not?
We do, and we're
Yeah.
you know we're in shape, we're fit. So
great.
we've got a great diet. So everyone should come and try it.
If you are just tuning in to the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric, we're talking about the St. George Orthodox Church Mediterranean Festival. Just go to HoustonMedFest.com. It is happening all day Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. I mean, all day Friday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Rain or shine.
And there are kids' activities, there's food, there's entertainment, there are church tours. Father James listens to our show every day, guys. Every day.
Aw.
So sometimes
So that's why Rula
I'm like,
blushes.
oh my
you're
God.
listening to Rose
I was actually
this
going to bring
morning?
you some trash bags this morning because I knew you needed some 18-gallon trash bags.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was talking about 18-gallon trash bags last week.
Yep.
I always forget like how many of our, pastors, priests, chaplains, people of all religions listen to our show when we're doing stuff. Like even from the Annunciation Church, I'm like, oh yeah, did you hear roses today? No, we're not going to talk about that. But Father James, you are a fantastic man. You are so comforting. I love your voice. I love the wise words you always have for us in
And your
times
smile,
of
too.
turmoil and happiness. And he is such a bright light. He's so joyous. You'll see him at the MedFest. He just smiles, and you can't help but smile when Father James smiles.
I always had a question for you,
God bless
Father.
y'all.
Father James. Like, you are the head of this church. How does it work? Like, how do you get that position? Do you transfer from another church?
Sometimes you start out as an assistant somewhere if the archdiocese has enough priests, but you say the head of the church.
They're bad
I
choice
know,
of
but
words.
my only responsibility is to wash the feet of our parishioners. That's my only responsibility. I mean, and thank God I'm allowed to be a pastor at this church. Everyone else does all the hard work.
Did you come from another church?
In Wichita, Kansas, the Cathedral St.
Yeah.
George in Wichita,
And
Kansas.
what brought you to Houston?
The bishop told me to go to
Yeah,
Houston.
that's
so we
We're
go.
gonna transfer
And
you. They
thank
tell
God
you
my
where you're
wife
gonna
is
go.
from here, so she was here when the MedFest was kicking over 20 years ago, dancing, stepping
Yeah.
on grapes. There's videos of her doing that. So I kind of had a bad name at St. George. I was the one that took my wife Gigi away.
Oh,
and
they brought her back.
I brought her back, and
Yeah.
everyone's happy now.
It's HoustonMedFest.com, guys. It's happening rain or shine all day Friday, all day Saturday. There are church tours, there are drinks, there are pumpkin patches, there's a petting zoo, there's delicious food. Is it shawarma? Am I saying it right?
Yes, that's
shawarma.
perfect. Yeah,
So
perfect.
shawarma is not beef. Is that chicken or is it beef or what is
So
it?
it's both, but we have chicken.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what is it? What's the difference between a gyro and a shawarma?
So the gyro is lamb.
Yeah.
And it comes in that
We
like
put the pita with the lamb, the
with-
tzatziki, the tomato and onion.
So the shawarma is in a pita bread.
Okay.
And it usually with the chicken it has a garlic sauce.
Yes.
Pickles.
Oh, yeah.
Tomatoes. Sometimes you splash. We're gonna splash on some onions with sumet.
Good.
It's
good
so
stuff.
good.
The only
It's so
thing
good.
I
And
know
all the
about that-
spices.
Nice.
Oh,
From the
It's
Avengers
from
movie?
the end of the event.
And
the end of the
Avengers.
Avengers.
They all ate. Because they made a joke about it and the end
Yeah,
credits.
what is shawarma?
And then they started eating it.
Is there a cost to get in?
yes.
There's
so
an admission cost.
It is
and
a
then-
$5 entry fee.
Okay,
And then
is
that
it
gets you into everything.
Do we need to know if it's cashless? Is it cash? Is it charge? You can pay any way you want?
Any way you want.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
HoustonMedFest.com, guys. It's happening just for 2 days, rain or shine.
And what time
Friday
does it
and
start?
Saturday.
11, you said, Rula?
11 a.m. to 10 p.m. both days, Friday and
Tomorrow
Saturday.
for lunch, people working?
Yes, yes. We'll
That's
be
my
open.
neighborhood. So
Come on down.
Yeah, come on down. We'll be open.
Yummy food, yummy, delicious desserts, and lots of things to do. Thank you so much, guys, for coming
you.
in. I
Thank
hope you have a
you.
very
Love y'all.
successful festival. I'm
Thank
glad that
you.
it's back.
Good luck.
And tell everyone at St. George we thank them for listening to the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric. We love you guys. Please tell Gigi we love her singing. At Vacation
Will
Bible
do.
School, she's the
Will
best. She is like the Taylor Swift of Vacation Bible School. The kids are obsessed with Gigi. So God bless you, Gigi. Thank you so much. HoustonMedFest.com. I hope you guys have great success.
Now here's a great transition.
Yeah. If you missed what happened on Roses today, I actually didn't offer anybody roses. I didn't have to. But it's going to make you really mad if you feel like the man in this situation should stand by his fiance more, because it is a couple that has come to us about the best man in their wedding. You'll hear it all play out next on KRBE.